guys, it's Maddie, and today I'm going to be showing you my contour and highlight routine. This is way more makeup than I would wear on an everyday basis, but I just wanted to show you guys as many techniques as possible in one video. So if you want to see how I got this look, then please keep watching. So I've already primed my face using my Nivea Men Post Shave Balm, and I did some color correcting using my NYX Color Correcting Concealer Palette. And for foundation, I mixed my Maybelline Dream Pure BB Cream in the shade Light Sheer Tint and my Clinique Stay Matte Oil-Free Makeup in the shade 02. Okay, so I'm going to start out by concealing and highlighting my face, and for this you want to use a concealer that's a few shades lighter than your natural skin tone, and this will help to bring light to the high points of your face and make these areas come more forward and upward. So for this, I'm using my Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer in the shade Fair Neutral, and I'm starting by drawing a triangle shape underneath my eyes to conceal my dark circles. I'm bringing this pretty far back so that my face looks more pulled back and my cheekbones look higher up. I'm also applying this to the other high points of my face, so my forehead, down the bridge of my nose, on my cupid's bow, and on my chin. I'm blending all this out with my beauty blender, and I make sure that it's very damp because using a wet beauty blender instead of a dry one helps the product to look more natural, and it prevents it from looking too heavy or cakey. Now you always want to set your creams with powders, so I'm taking the Maybelline Fit Me powder in the shade 115 Ivory, and using my Real Technique setting brush, I'm setting the places I just concealed. This helps to make the concealer last all day, and it prevents it from creasing underneath the eyes. As you can see, I'm using a powder that's lighter than my skin tone so that we don't lose any of the brightness from the concealer when we set it. Next, I'm going to bake my under eyes. So you've probably heard of the technique baking to set concealer. So I'm just taking my Your Minerals Sweden transparent veil, it's just like a translucent loose powder, and using this triangular makeup sponge, I am packing the product onto my under eyes. I'm going to let this sit for like 5 minutes, and this will just help to brighten my under eyes even more, as well as set the makeup and make my skin look really smooth. So while I was waiting for my under eyes to bake, I just filled in my eyebrows using my Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Definer in medium brown, and then I set them with the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Plumper in the shade medium to dark. So here I'm just wiping away the excess powder using my Real Technique setting brush. As you can see, baking just helps to make my under eyes super bright, and it really minimizes the pores in those areas. So now I am taking the Rimmel Stay Matte powder in the shade 001 Transparent, and using my Real Techniques large powder brush, I am placing this on the areas that I'm about to contour. Powders blend more easily on top of powders than they do on top of creams, so by setting these areas, it'll just create a nice base for our contour and make everything blend more easily. So moving on to the actual contour, my favorite shade for this is the Hoola Bronzer by Benefit. It's the perfect shade. It's not too warm, not too cool, it's matte, and the formula is super blendable. If you don't know exactly where you should be contouring your cheekbones, just make the classic contour face and suck your cheeks in and draw a line from your ear to your mouth where the indentation is. So wherever we initially place our brush is going to be where the most product is placed. So we're going to start by placing the product closest to our ear and then gradually blending the product down toward our mouth in circular motions. Also, if you draw a line down from the center of your eye, you shouldn't bring the contour in past this line. So here I'm taking Hoola onto this Urban Decay optical blurring brush. It's just like a round blending brush, and I'm slowly blending out this product. The key to contouring is blending everything out and taking your time because you do not want any harsh lines. I'm also just taking this all along the perimeters of my face, so on my temples, along my hairline, and on my jawline. Next, I'm taking this clean little fluffy kabuki brush and I'm just blending everything out. Sometimes I like to sharpen up the contour on my cheekbones even more, so I'm taking my Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Dark Circle Eraser thing in the shade Fair, and I'm drawing a line underneath my contour and blending that out with a beauty blender. I also want to make sure to set that, so I'm taking the same Maybelline Fit Me powder and my Real Technique setting brush and just setting the areas that I put the concealer. So next is when I usually apply blush, but I don't have a specific blush that I use every day. I tend to switch it up between these 4 blushes, but today I'm using my Bobbi Brown blush in the shade Nectar, and I'm applying this with my Real Techniques blush brush. Now I'm going to show you guys how I contour my nose. So for this, I use my Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Kit, and I start by taking the shade Fawn, which is the bottom middle contour shade, And using this fluffy blending brush, it's an eyeshadow brush by Sonia Kashuk, I draw 2 lines down the sides of my nose. The closer together these lines are, the thinner your nose will look, so you can just adjust that however you want. I also draw a line at the tip of the nose connecting the other 2 lines, and I draw 2 more lines on the sides of my nose. Next, I'm taking this Luxie 512 brush and blending out those lines. I don't know what happened there. I made a weird face, but if you're contouring your nose, make sure you're using a cool tone bronzer, because if the shade you use is too orange, it'll make your nose contour look very unnatural. So the whole point is that we want it to look as natural and realistic as possible. Next, I'm taking the shade Vanilla, which is the top left highlight shade in the same palette, and I just use my finger to place this product on the sides of my nose, which will help my nose look even thinner. Also, really quickly, using my finger, I like to take the shade Fawn again and run this underneath my lower lip. This creates a shadow underneath your lips and makes them appear to be bigger. Okay, moving on to my favorite part, highlighting the face. So I have 2 highlighters that I really love and kind of alternate between, and those are the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in Moonstone and the MAC Mineralize Skin Finish in Soft and Gentle. So today I chose to use Soft and Gentle by MAC, and using this Vasanti No. 7 brush, it's technically a blush brush, I'm just taking the product and blending it onto the tops of my cheeks and also above the brow bone. This will attract the light to these areas and make my cheekbones look higher up and just make my skin overall look super glowy. I also added some onto the bridge of my nose and on my cupid's bow. The final step in contouring and highlighting my face is to set it with a makeup setting spray. So today I'm using my Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray, and this will just help lock all the makeup in place and make it last all night. So I went ahead and did the rest of my makeup off camera, but if you're wondering what eye makeup or lip color I'm wearing, it'll be in the description box down below. So this is the finished look. Like I said, this is a very contoured look, and I wouldn't do this many steps or wear this much makeup every time I go out, but I think contouring is really fun, and I really enjoy experimenting with different techniques and products. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and comment down below suggestions for future videos. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you next Thursday with a new video. Bye! I got broads in Atlanta, just to the lean in the family. Credit cards in the scammers, eating the least in the family. Legacy.